or whatever impression it may give to the witness with respect to the to attending to this subpoena, Your Honor. May we just remove those XX? We don't mind if they flash the documents, but it should be an exact reflection of what the document is.
Short rejoinder, Your Honor.
No need for a rejoinder. Court is ruled, and the court notes the observation, manifestation, and objection of the lead prosecutor. Again, I think it's quite plain that these are documents that the witness cannot or does not have personal knowledge about because he was not yet the NBI director. Counsel may proceed. Witness may answer.
All right, I'll move on. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Red Mendoza of Manila Times?
I'm aware that there is a subpoena, but on the actual issuance of the subpoena at that time, that will be impossible to be aware of because I'm no longer I am not yet the NBI director.
So in short, you did not sign it?
I did not sign it. I think it was signed by Glenn Ricarte.
All right, that's enough. Okay. Now, are you aware also that the subpoena was issued to Bons Magsambol of Rappler?
Based on the affidavit of investigation, I think it was mentioned.
And did you sign that subpoena?
It is again signed by a certain Glenn Ricarte.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Ana Rosario Malindog-Uy, also of Manila Times?
Again, based on the investigation report.
And did you sign that subpoena?
No.
All right. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Jason Rubrico of SMNI?
Again, based on the investigation report.
Did you sign that subpoena?
Your Honor, may I respectfully interrupt?
Lead prosecutor is recognized.
The prosecution is willing to stipulate as to the issuance of this subpoena by the National Bureau of Investigation during the time that the witness is not yet appointed as the NBI director, Your Honor.
But that's not my question, Your Honor. Anyway, Your Honor.
Unless you're willing to stipulate, counsel, to abbreviate the proceedings, that insofar as the questions of the counsel for respondent is concerned, that for the remaining four subpoenas, that the same answer of the witness for the previous 6 ones will be the same.
We are willing to stipulate on that, Your Honor.
We are not willing to stipulate, Your Honor. We'll just ask for a ruling from the court.
In that case, witness may proceed. Witness may answer. Counsel will please proceed.
All right. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued again to Jason Rubrico of SNM9?
Same answer, Your Honor.
Okay, same answer. And you did not sign that subpoena for Jason?
I said same answer,
Right.
Your Honor.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Mikael Flores of Reuters?
Same answer, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may we ask, Your Honor, that the lawyer of the prosecution do not supply anything or make any comment near the witness because it may affect this.
Is he, the assisting counsel may not supply any information to the witness other than merely observing the document being shown to him by assisting counsel for respondent. Counsel may proceed.
Mr. Presiding Officer, may I speak?
Yes, Director.
The counsel is not telling anything, but may I request not to cover me so that the people can see me?
Yes, that may be granted by the presiding officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Assisting counsel, kindly sit beside the assisting counsel stand beside the assisting counsel for the respondent. You may proceed, counsel,
Right.
for the respondent.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Mikael Flores of Reuters?
Same answer, Your
Same
Honor.
answer. You did not sign it. Okay. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Trixie Cruz Angeles?
Same answer.
And you did not sign it. Okay. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to 2 OVP personnel? And did you sign the subpoenas?
Same answer.
Alright, so not a single one. Now, my next question to you is this. Did you oversee any interview that was conducted in the fact-finding investigation?
Your Honor, the question is vague.
If the witness is a lawyer and is competent to
Your
answer,
Honor,
he knows, Your Honor.
Your Honor, during the direct, it was established that there were 2 investigations. The first investigation and the current investigation of the STF.
Then,
the defense need to specify which investigation is he referring to.
The affidavit...
Counsel will please clarify.
Okay. Did you oversee any interview that was conducted in the investigation that was covered by the affidavit of investigation?
As mentioned in my testimony, I was appointed only on February 2026, and it's very unlikely to be part of the investigation prior to that.
Okay. So, are you aware that there were at least 4 interviews that were conducted?
Your Honor, asked and answered.
That is a different question.
Nonetheless,
Witness may answer.
I'm not aware because I'm not yet there.
Okay, so Are you aware, let me be more specific, are you aware that an interview of Dempsey Reyes of PDI was conducted?
I'm not aware of that, but as reflected in the investigation report, it was there.
So in other words, you did not oversee that interview?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Are you aware that there was an interview of Fred Mendoza of Manila Times?
Same answer, Your Honor.
Same answer. Are you aware that there was an interview of Bons Magsambol of Rappler?
Same answer.
Same answer. So you did not oversee that interview. And are you aware that there was an interview of Jason Rubrico? Did you oversee this interview? Of these interviewees?
At
Before
that
or
time?
after? Before or after?
Who among the
Among the interviewees that I mentioned? No. Did you meet any one of their lawyers?
No.
No. All right. Now, were you even present at the NBI Cybercrime Division office at the time of these interviews?
That is impossible.
All right. After the interviews, affidavits attesting to the interviews were executed, as you mentioned. Did you oversee the drafting of these affidavits by the NBI agents?
Again, very unlikely I was not present.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may interrupt, may I just enter a
Lead
continuing...
prosecutor may make a manifestation and or a continuing objection, as I presume she will.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm entering a continuing objection to the line of questions of the defense on the ground, as stated by the witness, he has no personal knowledge about the investigation conducted prior to his appointment in February 2026, Your Honor.
Just
That
a
is
short
for the record.
The continuing objection is noted. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
No need for that rejoinder. But were you present when the NBI agents subscribed and sworn to their affidavits?
I was not there.
You were not there. Still nothing. So, and since you did not actually participate, it means that you do not have personal knowledge of these stages of the investigation, correct?
During that time, yes, but as I mentioned earlier, I read the investigation report.
So your knowledge of the investigation was based on only of your reading.
That is absolutely correct,
All right.
and upon the discussion of the investigating officers.
Very well. Now, were you present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
I was not present.
You were not
I was
present.
not participating on that.
And if you know, was any NBI agent present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
Not that I know.
None. All right. So in layman's terms, for the benefit of this honorable court and the Filipino people watching, and I'll phrase my question in Tagalog. So sa kabila po ng pagtestigo po ninyo ngayong araw, inaamin nyo ba na wala kayong personal na kaalaman sa nangyaring investigation starting November 23, 2024?
Malinaw naman po yun at ang korte po ay can take judicial notice of the fact na hindi pa po ako NBI director ng panahon na yun.
So you're confirming that you do not have personal knowledge because you were only appointed as NBA director a year later or on February 20,
Your Honor, ask and
2026,
answer
correct?
question.
No, I haven't even asked that question, Your Honor.
Kindly let counsel finish.
So again, I will repeat. So the reason for this is that because you became NBI director only a year later or on February 20, 2026, correct?
Tama po.
All right. Okay. So prior to February 20, 2026, you do not have any personal knowledge of any investigation, correct?
Nababasa ko lang po sa balita mga pangyayari.
Which is not personal knowledge, correct?
Well, yun lang po yung knowledge natin.
You're a lawyer, correct?
Tama po, 29 years.
29 years. Can you recall Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence?
Can you refresh me, sir?
Okay, I will
Because you have a
gladly
copy.
refresh you, of course. I have here a copy of Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence, and I'll read it. Please read with me, Director Matibag. Testimony confined to personal knowledge. A witness can testify only to those facts which he or she knows of his or her personal knowledge, that is, which are derived from his or her own perception. Can you recall that rule now?
Ayan po, nababasa ko po.
Okay, you can read it. All right, so based on this rule, will you agree with me that a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge?
Your Honor, may I comment to that?
These are basic questions, Your Honor. The witness is a lawyer, he is competent enough to answer.
Counsel, are you making an objection?
This is a comment, Your Honor. The witness repeatedly testified that he was appointed only in February 2026, and that all his testimonies pertaining to the first investigation are based on records, Your Honor. And this is allowed. As a matter of fact, under the rules, entries in official records are considered as prima facie evidence of the contents thereof. And thus, it's exactly the basis of the witness in answering the question of the defense. All his knowledge pertaining to the first investigation are based on records.
Short rejoinder, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Distinguished lead prosecutor, the counsel for respondent did not object to the line of questioning of the lead prosecutor earlier, based exactly on the ground cited by the lead prosecutor. The presiding officer will give sufficient leeway to the counsel for respondent to establish his point. I think you also see what he is trying to establish. That's why he made a continuing objection in relation to it. I'll give you some leeway, counsel, but go to your next topic as soon as you're done with this.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, again, based on this rule, a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge, correct?
Tama po, pero meron pong mga exceptions sa rule.
Alright, okay. If not based on personal knowledge, then that is hearsay, correct?
But it's not an absolute rule po dahil may exceptions nga po.
Okay, now, I'm trying to look for the Filipino term for hearsay. Ano ba yung hearsay sa Tagalog? Sabi-sabi or chismis? Is that a fair translation? What is a fair translation to you of hearsay?
Your Honor, the question of the defense is misleading. He never testified that that is hearsay.
No, I'm not
As a
asking
matter
him.
of fact, he's trying to raise the exception to hearsay.
I'm not asking about the exceptions of hearsay. I'm asking a translation of hearsay. Anyway, I'll move on to...
If the witness knows, if he does not know, he may say so.
Hindi ko po alam kung anong translation dito sa Tagalog.
Okay, so I'll just use my own translation, chismis. Anyway, at any rate, kung wala kang personal knowledge, chismis lang yon, tama?
Hindi ko naman po naririnig sa korte, ako'y nag-practice din, kahit di translate sa Tagalog, kahit minsan ko po, hindi ko po narinig ng hearsay ginamit ang salitang chismis.
Alright, I'll move on. Now, the main material that the NBI used in its investigation was the video of the November 23, 2024 press con, correct?
Tama po.
Did you watch that whole video yourself?
Napanood ko po.
The whole video?
Well, yung pong importanteng bagay dyan ang aking tinutukan, pero napanood ko po.
Alright. Now, let me ask you, do you confirm that in that virtual press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics?
Tama po.
Alright, I'll show you a portion of that video. And then I'll ask questions thereafter. Now, Your Honor, we beg the indulgence of this honorable court. Again, this video is a little lengthy, but we will only show one video, Your Honor.
Counsel may proceed.
Pagkakainin niyo, buti, John, ito, sa House of Representatives. Anak, at ang mamahaling wine. Yan. Yung taong bayan na pinangisan ninyo, 20 pesos rice. Yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila. Ano sabi nila? Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Saan ka nakahanap? Bayan, na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning government, okay na lang sa asin. Anong abogado si Atty. Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga
Your Honor, it appears that we're having technical difficulties. Can we just replay
Yes,
that part, Your Honor?
yung cellphone, dadalhin mo.
Your Honor, may I make a manifestation first?
Can the tech kindly pause and rewind a bit with respect to the portion? Just a bit.
Your Honor, this is part of the question, Your Honor. Can we ask that the manifestation be made after the playing of this video and the asking of the appropriate question?
Your Honor, the manifestation concerns the very video that they are presenting.
We're already playing it, lead counsel. We will recognize you after the video is played. Kindly proceed with the playing of the video.
Walang cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao. Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Narinig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much na po pala sa dala niyong kopya ng hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Pardema. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay,
Nag-aalala po kami para.
ma'am, kasi sila naman sila talaga yung bastos eh. You read what you talk.
Yeah. Mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2020 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin, or yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga bala in the future. So, mag-ingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday Through, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Ano po kung remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon o ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito? Lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power.
Yes. Huwag ka mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sabi ko sa kanya, pag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Ranela, at si Martin Romales. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil na. Kung hindi mo mapatay sila. And he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa mga kabayan na
Make sure your child's craft knife has a retractable blade to prevent accidents. No retractable blade? That's a disaster waiting to happen. This mini knife snaps back when you let go. 0 accidents. Perfect for paper or packages. Lazada is giving up to 50% off back-to-school voucher. Don't wait. Your kid's safety is worth it.
expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness, kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon nito. Alam ko yan, ma'am, kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo ang boto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa ginagawa ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, I'm sure nakikita yan ang taong bayan and na-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno, ito dapat yung gobyerno natin na nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao. Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang nagpapahirap lalo sa tao? Kasi gusto ba nila lagi na lang mahirap ang mga tao para madali mapasunod? May mga lugar kami sa Mindanao na ganyan ang mga politiko. Gusto nila mahirap lahat. Diba? Hugan lang nila ang kwarta. Governor na sila, mayor na sila, congressman na sila. Hanapin niyo, ma'am, yung mga lugar na sobrang hirap sa Mindanao. Tingnan niyo anong gawain ng politiko. Pinapakain lang ng pera ng tao. Pinapastos yung kanilang pagkatao.
Ay, ako yung ito pa. Dito pa ako baka mga magtatapos pa ng address.
Dahil wala silang pakialam.
Pero kung...
Alright. For the benefit of this court, that is timestamp 1-12, 1-1243 onwards of the video recording with accompanying transcript.
With the permission of the counsel for respondent, the lead prosecutor is recognized for a manifestation.
Your Honor, I wish to manifest that the video which was played is unmarked and spliced video, Your Honor. That is for the record.
The counsel for respondent just mentioned the timestamp and the marking as well. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
Alright. Now, Director Matibag, these are my questions about the statements of VP Sara in that video. Do you have personal knowledge of the theft incident involving Attorney Lopez's cell phone?
Wala po.
Wala. Do you have personal knowledge on the buffet in the House of Representatives?
Wala po.
Wala. Do you have personal knowledge on the communities na asin lang ang kinakain?
Wala po.
Alright. Do you have personal knowledge on the person whom VP Sara talked to regarding BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Wala po dahil
Wala.
siya nakipag-usap.
Alright, okay. Thank you for that. So, now you mentioned that you watched the whole video. My question to you is, did the NBI conduct any separate investigation regarding the various acts of corruption alleged acts of corruption of BBM, FL, the former speaker, and the congressman as mentioned by VP Sara?
Marami pong iniulan sa akin na mag-investigasyon, subalit hindi naman po kasi binanggit do sa video sino ang mga particular na kailangang imbestigahan. Kaya naman po yung investigasyon na ginagawa ngayon ng NBI, maaaring tumutukoy na po sa mga taong binabanggit po.
Right, but as NBI director now, you have the authority to investigate alleged cases of corruption, correct?
Tama po yun.
Right. In fact, you came out in the news recently stating that you will investigate the 2019 SEA Games, correct?
Tama po.
Correct. And the 2019 SEA Games came prior to this 2024 press con, correct?
Tama po.
Okay. Do you intend, my next question is this, do you also intend to investigate the alleged corruption involving the unaudited confidential funds of the OP, Office of the President, also mentioned by VP Sara?
Kung mayroon po mga ebidensyang ilalatag sa amin para amin pong sundan, hindi po magdadalawang isip ang NBI sapagkat ito po ang mandato ng NBI.
Alright, thank you for
Mag-imbestigahan ng mga krimen po, amin pong nakikita.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Now, do you also intend to investigate the alleged corruption involving the former speaker going around the country and giving government funds to people, also mentioned by VP Sara in that video?
Your Honor, may I comment, Your Honor?
What is the comment of the lead prosecutor?
We are objecting to that question, Your Honor, as the same is misleading.
Your Honor, if he knows, he said he watched the whole video, he listened to the statements. There was a statement.
Witness may answer, if he knows.
Well, kung meron po mga ebidensyang pumapasok tulad ng lahat ng aming ginagawa, we are driven by evidence and the process and the law na dapat pong sundin.
Alright. Now,
Kaso lang,
My next
pareho,
question is, your wife is also a member of the House of Representatives.
That is
Kasi
correct.
pwede pa yun, pati.
And she is Representative Maria.
Your Honor, with all due respect.
This is cross, Your Honor. Maybe given leeway, Your Honor.
Allow the counsel to finish the question, and then you may make your objection afterwards. Finish your question, counsel, for the respondent.
She is Representative Maria Rene Ann Lourdes G. Matibag. correct?
Before the
I
witness
object, Your Honor.
answers, what is the objection of the lead prosecutor?
The questions, Your Honor, of the defense
Tuloy nga, pwede yun.
with regards to the wife of the witness is totally irrelevant.
Pero yung...
Your
And that should not be allowed.
Your Honor, these are
The,
credibility testing questions,
the-
Your Honor, which is always relevant.
The objection is overruled. It tests the freedom from bias, if any, of the witness regarding his testimony, and the chair will
Nevertheless,
allow
Your
it. Witness may answer.
Your Honor, may I just enter
There
a
was already-
continuing objection on the line of questions pertaining to the wife of the witness, Your Honor.
So noted. Witness may answer.
Opo. Alright. Now, let me direct your attention to House Resolution number 989. This is also part of the records of this case, entitled Setting Forth the Articles of Impeachment Against Vice President Sara Z. Duterte. Permission to use a pointer, Your Honor. Now, it appears that from this document
Counsel may do so.
that your wife is one of the endorsers
Ilang oras bago...
of this House resolution. Can you confirm that?
Yes, her name is her.
It's there. Okay. Now, there's a signature page also. This document is not numbered, but it appears that it's around page 19.
Ilang kayo, apat din.
Can you confirm if this is your wife's signature?
I think I have no authority to confirm the signature even if she is my wife.
So you can confirm the signature of your NBI agent, but not your wife.
It's appeared to be her signature, but I have not confronted with the document so that I can.
Kasi matagal mo.
At any rate, Your Honor, may we
pagka-
allow?
With the NBI, it's different. I testified earlier that it was presented to me, and I asked him if he signed it, and I'm familiar to his signature because he's always making submission to my office.
Alright, that's okay. At any rate, Your Honor, may we allow may we request, Your Honor, that we be allowed to submark this particular portion. Again, this is
May
already
we
part of
request,
the
Your
records.
Honor, that the witness be confronted first with the document, and
We
may
will
we
do that.
request as well that the assisting counsel for the prosecution be allowed to approach.
We will do
Assisting
that, Your
counsel for the respondent may please confront the witness with a document in the presence of assisting counsel for the prosecutor before counsel for respondent requests it to be marked. Witness will kindly look at the document and answer their question.
May I first manifest, Your Honor, that the photocopy, the document being presented to the witness is a photocopy.
Your Honor, if at all we can agree that the court's copy be submarked, Your Honor. And we request, Your Honor, that the first page that we showed and this signature page around page 16 be marked, be submarked, even at later, Your Honor, before the third.
It shall be done at a later time. In the meantime, by the oath of respective counsels, I believe we can rely on this copy, subject to confirmation in the marking of the actual copy that the court has.
And
You're referring to the impeachment resolution on impeachment, right?
yes, Your Honor, but Your Honor, insofar as the identification of this witness, we are relying actually on the transmittal by the Committee on Justice, which was received by your office on May 11, 2026, Your Honor.
Not
So
by
it is-
my office, but by the Secretary General of the Senate. Kindly confront the witness with the document so that he may answer intelligently.
If you know only, Director
Your
Matibag.
Your Honor, respectfully,
That is the
if I may say something.
Yes, Director Matibag.
In order to save time in the questioning of the defense counsel, I think he's going to the position if my wife endorses the article of impeachment so that we save time and it's on record. It's a matter of public notice. Yes, my wife is one of the endorsers of the impeachment.
Duly noted. Counsel, move on.
All right, thank you for that admission, Director Matibag. And despite that spousal relationship that you admitted, you decided to appear and testify today, correct?
My decision to to be a witness is by virtue of a subpoena issued by the Honorable Court and by invitation of the Committee on Justice and the Prosecution. However, the job of my wife as a legislator is totally detached from me being the director of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, my next question is, but the court did not issue a subpoena for you to appear today. Are you saying that you receive a subpoena despite this honorable court not issuing a subpoena for you?
Even if there's no subpoena in the pre-trial order, I was mentioned to be a witness, and I was invited by the prosecution to be a witness. And from my understanding, in the pre-trial order, I was also listed by the defense. I will be gladly witness for the defense as well if I will be called upon.
All right, but which is which? Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or without a subpoena?
I'm appearing today as a witness as called upon and announced by the Honorable Court and by the invitation also of the
No, that's not my question, Director Matibag. You're a lawyer, you know this. Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or no subpoena?
There's no written subpoena, but there is a verbal announcement from the Honorable Court that I will be a witness in today's hearing.
Your Honor, the question of the defense is misleading. It is apparent that last week a subpoena was issued to the witness, Your Honor, and it is because of the other matters that was heard and addressed by the impeachment court. The schedule of the witness was scheduled to today.
Your Honor,
The objection is overruled. First, asked and answered, and for the record and information of the senator judges, the presiding officer confirms that no subpoena was issued to Director Matibag. In fact, I asked if one was needed, and the response I got was that it was not necessary. But indeed, the chair also confirms that the name of Director Matibag was requested to be invited by the counsel by the prosecutors, and he was so named by the presiding officer to attend in, I believe, yesterday, supposedly, and today's trial dates. Move on, counsel.
just one last question on this point. So considering that there's no subpoena, I'm just wondering how it works. Did you coordinate with any of the prosecutors in relation to your appearing or appearance in today's proceedings?
Well, we conducted some meetings on this matter.
You mean prior to your appearance to this honorable court, you met with certain members of the prosecution?
Yes, twice when I was informed that I will be a witness on the pre-trial order.
All right. Did you meet with the private prosecutors or the public prosecutors?
With the chairman of the committee, with Congresswoman Jerry.
And you are confirming in open court that you discussed or you were briefed in that meeting based in your testimony? What was the, okay, you can explain.
Well, I'm a lawyer and I know where you're going. There was no discussion or coaching. We just discussed matters that's supposed to be covered by my testimony. Because I'm a director, I will be testifying. Of course, they will want to know what will be the nature of my testimony. In the same way that when you want to present me as your witness, I will be more than willing to sit down with the defense counsel.
Your Honor, I take exception to that. I don't think Director Matibag knows where I'm going. In fact, I'm moving on to a new point. At any rate, Your Honor, I don't think we are calling him as a witness. So these are facts that only he assumes. No, we want to say that for the record, Your Honor.
Witness will not argue with the counsel. Sorry, Your Honor. Kindly move on, counsel, for the respondent.
All right. Let's just move on, Director Matibag. The NBI is under the DOJ, correct?
That is correct.
And the DOJ is under the Office of the President, correct?
That is correct.
Now, BBM, in short, BBM has control and supervision over both NBI and the, Your Honor, sorry, I'm hearing comments from the prosecution. I don't mean any disrespect to the President. It's just for purposes of abbreviation, I'm just calling him BBM. But at any rate, I'll move on to my question. So BBM has control and supervision over both the NBI and the DOJ, correct?
That is not exactly correct. All only on the matter of appointments, but we enjoy independence in the matter of investigation.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you confirm that you're an appointee of BBM?
Well, it's only the president who can make an appointment. I think it is provided for in the law.
What's the answer?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And so my question to you is this: did BBM participate in the NBI's investigation in any way?
No.
No. All right. So don't you consider your appointment as NBI director as participation on the part of BBM?
No.
No. All right. You mentioned a while ago that after the affidavit of investigation, it was submitted to the DOJ for evaluation, correct?
Further evaluation and finding if there's enough reason to file a case before the regional trial court or the proper court.
All right. And during your direct testimony, you also mentioned that as we speak, it is still pending, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now, in other words, in terms of formal charge to be filed in court, that is still not available at this time, correct?
It's in the jurisdiction of the National Prosecution Service, which is under the Department of Justice.
But insofar as the case that the NBI filed with the DOJ, is it not the case that that charge does not include contracting for the assassination?
That is correct. What was filed was grave threat and inciting to sedition.
So in other words, at this point, VP Sara is not being made to answer for contracting for assassination, correct?
That is exactly what my testimony covered. That she is being investigated for contracting a person to kill the president. And that is a continuing threat not only to the life of the president, but to the national security of our country.
Not responsive, Your Honor. My question is if she's already being made to answer to that particular charge.
Made to answer, counsel, meaning
This P7000 glue is super easy to use. Dries clear with no white marks, strong hold without leaving visible residue. Perfect for foam repair.
Thing for assassination.
Well, in this impeachment court, she is being on trial. And that is very well covered by the articles. To me, as a lawyer, not only as an NBI director, and as a former dean, that is a betrayal of public trust to me. Because you made an oath of office that you will protect, defend the Constitution, execute laws, do justice to others.
Director Matibag, let the court intervene at this juncture. That is not responsive to the question of counsel. Kindly just answer the question. Has the NBI issued a subpoena against the Vice President with respect to the crime of contracting a killer, allegedly?
At this point, Your Honor, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Please proceed, counsel.
That's enough. So no subpoena as of now. But in other words, has there been any affidavit of investigation relating to contracting for assassination?
My understanding is there was a subpoena issued that time during the investigation to the Vice President, and the lawyer submitted an affidavit.
No. Again, not responsive, Your Honor. I'm talking about an affidavit of investigation executed by the NBI in terms of not yet. Okay, so at this point, would you agree with me that the DOJ has not found any basis for contracting for assassination?
Wala pa po sa akin.
Alright. So at this point, as of today, there's simply no evidence to warrant the filing of a formal charge for contracting for assassination, correct?
That's why kung babalikan po natin yung aking testimonya, this is a continuing and an open investigation as to the contracting a killer.
So in other words, the reason why these are not present at this time, because your investigation is still ongoing.
It's a case build-up and an open, active investigation.
All right. Very well. Now, you mentioned about grave threats and inciting to sedition. My question to you is, these subject matters fall under the category of felonies, correct?
That's correct.
Now, in fact, based on the penalties involved as provided by law, these fall under the jurisdiction of the first level trial courts, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, moreover, for one to be declared guilty of these felonies, the burden of proof is guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Correct?
That is correct.
Now, guilt beyond reasonable doubt, is this a low threshold or a high threshold?
Beyond reasonable doubt, of course, it's a high threshold.
In fact, it is the highest threshold in criminal law, correct? So in other words, para lang for the benefit of the Filipino people watching, so hindi ka pwedeng magsampa ng kaso nang hindi mo kayang patunayan, correct?
Tama po yun. Dahil meron pong Memorandum Circular number 20 ng Department of Justice kung saan sinasabi that when you file cases, there should be a reasonable certainty of conviction.
Thank you for that clarification. So if the threshold is guilt beyond reasonable, if this threshold of guilt beyond reasonable doubt is not reached, then the accused must be acquitted, correct?
Tama po yan.
And insofar as grave threats or inciting to sedition, it is the trial courts that will decide that, correct?
That is correct.
Not the DOJ.
The DOJ will submit the information and the resolution for prosecution. At the end of the day, it will be the court who will say whether it's guilty or not.
All right. Now, in your testimony earlier, you mentioned that there are leads on the alleged person that VP Sara talked to, correct?
Yes.
But let me ask you this. During that press con, did VP Sara mention the word assassin?
Wala po.
All right. Now, the investigation on these leads, are these already final?
Pakiulit po.
The investigation based on these leads that you mentioned, are these already final?
Hindi po.
Hindi pa.
Malinaw po sinabi ko that this is a continuing and open investigation po.
All right. So, in other words, you haven't given any opportunity for VP Sara to confront this alleged person, correct?
Hindi pa po.
All right. But will you agree with me that confronting this alleged person is part of due process?
Tama po. Kaya mas maganda nga po kung si VP Sara mismo magsabi dito kung meron siyang kinausap at kung sino kinausap.
But is that part of the SOP also, that you give an opportunity for VP Sara to confront?
Tama po. Pag natukoy na po namin kung sino ang taong kanyang kinausap, that is the time na siya po ay aming kukumprontahin para siya po ay masagot niya kung itong taong talaga ito ang kanyang kinausap para patayin ang Pangulo.
Alright. My next question is very simple. So you offered your testimony before this impeachment court, even you performed SOP or giving opportunity to VP Sara to confront.
Malinaw naman po yung sinabi ko.
Saka ka dyan, bakit na maliit niyang mukha, matilo sa
Po, kasi
Oo.
minsan ko
Kasi yung nakakain niyang maigil,
po,
nalulunok na.
Pero yan.
SOP or giving opportunity to VP Sara to confront.
ano naman po yung sinabi ko na nagbibigay ng iwan para harapin po ang akusasyon na yan.
So considering you're still pursuing those leads, don't you think that your testimony today is premature?
Hindi po. Sapagkat malinaw naman po sa statement ng ating kliyente na meron siyang kinausap para si Bongbong Marcos, si Lisa Marcos Araneta, Martin Romualdez, at sinabi pa niya na walang biro sa law investigation. Applying po namin yung pong methodology na ginagamit ng Secret Service sa Amerika ay po rito na ito isang malinaw na confession ng isang tao, meron siyang isang plano na pagpatay.
Okay, I'll move on, but I'll ask you, that trial by publicity, which is not sanctioned by...
Hindi po. Sapagkat kaya nga po namin hindi nilalabas yung mga confidential at secret investigation. Lamang nga po, tayo ay testigo rito na kailangan natin pong sabihin kung ano na ang naging ng investigasyon. At malinaw naman po sa aking testimonya, isa continuing open investigation, active investigation na kung saan meron pong mga persons of interest. At pag tinanong po natin sa mga nakakaunawa ng law enforcement, ganito po talaga ang practice ng law enforcement.
In fact, you mentioned during your direct testimony that you cannot give further details, correct? It's classified. Okay. So with all due respect, I'll ask this in Filipino, with all due respect to you, Director Batibag, kung hindi nyo pa po pala kayang magbigay ng bakit nyo pa po nilabas na may leads kayo in the first place?
Sa kanya po ng sinabi ko, malinaw naman na yung pagsasalita ng ating Vice Presidente na siya ay kumausap ng papatay, ayag yung papatay na patayin ng mga individual na ito, meron na kasundo na gagawin po ang isang krimen.
Yeah, but it is, wouldn't that prejudice your ongoing investigation that you come here and you make statements that you already have leads?
Your Honor, that this is speculative.
This may answer.
Kaya nga po, dahilan hindi ko mabanggit kung sino po yung mga persons of interest dahil ito po ang komisyon ang investigasyon na bumubulong.
Okay, at any rate, if this ongoing investigation progresses, that is the only time that a different charge will be executed against the Vice President.
Balik ulit na ang pagkontrata sa pagpapatay mo ng papatay sa mga
Nowadays, well-off families no longer buy drink. Instead, they make merch. Just cut the fruit in, press a button to juice it automatically. No need to add water, and after a dozen seconds, you get sweet and sour juice. There's no need to peel or remove seeds, and having a cup after a meal feels so good.
BI is still conducting an investigation, ongoing investigation. Do you still use the video of the November 23, 2024 press con in this ongoing investigation?
isa po ito sabi naging batayan para po doon sa 5-point standard na tinitingnan po namin na yamin pong matugunan.
Alright, it's an almost 2-year-old video now. Do you think it's still relevant to your ongoing investigation?
Hindi po, sapagkat hanggang sa ngayon nga ay hindi pa natin nahanap kung sino ang taong kinausap po ng ating Vice Presidente.
Very well. Attorney Matibag, do you know Mel Sabio?
Opo.
Alright. Now, about 2 months ago, an audio-video file of the two of you circulated online. By the way, we won't show that video out of respect to the party's rights, as well as I saw your wife here also, out of your family members' rights and also out of Mel Sabio's rights. I'll just ask you a few questions. This video circulated online, and you already came out in the media admitting that it was you and Mel Sabio who were involved in that video, correct?
Tama po yun. That is a private conversation sa dalawa pong magkaibigan na hindi nagkakasundo.
Alright. And my only question to you is this. Did that incident demonstrate an emotional outburst on your part?
Kasama na po yun, combination na ng galit at disappointment. At ako naman po inamin ko na yan ay isang pagkakamali na akin pong tinanggap na rin at pinagsisihan.
Right. Could you recall what you said in that video?
Masama po yung aking mga sinabi. Meron pong hindi talaga kaya-aya.
Can you recall, just to give an idea of those who were not able to
I
watch?
cannot exactly recall because that was a really long time ago.
That's okay. Now, Ministro, do you confirm this?
July 10.
July 10, 2026.
Opo.
Alright.
Opo.
And in that letter, we can confront you with a hard copy, but we can also flash. In that letter, you mentioned, and I quote, "As Director of the Bureau, I will personally attend to represent the NBI at this summit of Director and Commissioner General level law enforcement leaders across the Asia Pacific, which will require my travel and attendance on those dates." Now, those dates pertain to July 21 to 22, 2026, so today and tomorrow. Do you confirm this?
Opo.
Alright. Now, in that letter, there was a prior letter to that, correct? Which you received from FBI Director Kash Patel.
Tama po.
Do you personally know Kash Patel?
Hindi po, pero hindi po siya personal kong kilala.
Alright. And did you inform him at any point that you're a lawyer?
Hindi ko po alam kung alam niya na abogado.
Okay. That's interesting because in the letter, and I'll use my pointer again, he referred to you as Dear Director Attorney Matibag, which in this record was submitted to this honorable court through the prosecution on July 13, 2026. Now, just a manifestation, this now forms part of the records of this case. So, are you friends or did he just research about your being a lawyer?
Ganito po kasi ang nangyari dyan, meron pong high value target, one of the top 10 most wanted, si Henry Kimball, ang pangalan po niya, who scammed the government about 2.8 billion. Number 2 po siya sa 10 most wanted. And we have a coordination meeting with our local counterpart ng US Embassy na FBI station in Manila, si Ma'am Courtney, asking for her help for the extradition of this person who happens to have a problem in a court in Makati. They were expecting na ito pong taong ito ay matagal pa bago ma-extradite sa kanila. Lumapit po sa atin sa NBI at dahil natulungan po natin na yung inaakala nilang buwan ang lilipas bago ma-extradite, inatulungan po natin sila sa loob ng 2 araw ay na-extradite po. Kung kaya nung na-extradite po, ito pong si Henry Kimball, ako po ay tinawagan ni Ma'am Courtney ng FBI nang siya nasa Amerika at sinabi na nagpapasalamat. Katunayan po, nagpadala po ng letter of gratitude ang FBI. At yung pong pag-attend ko sa Bangkok, hindi naman po basta lang ako atin sa conference. There was an opportunity on the site na magkaroon po kami ng pagpupulong po ng personal ni Director Kash Patel.
Yeah.
Kaya po, gusto ko sana makadalo doon.
Thank you for that clarification. Anyway, I'm just asking because the schedule of the court actually changed or was altered because of this letter. Just a few questions on this. Now, upon perusal of this letter, it appears na sinulatan kayo na diretsyo ni Director Kash Patel and walang address yung NBI. It just says Manila. Do you confirm the receipt of this letter?
It was sent through an email.
Through email. Okay. Now, of course, before you wrote Representative Luis Tro, you first confirmed your attendance with FBI Director Patel. Am I right?
Wala pa po, the confirmation. Dahil malinaw naman po, sinasabi ko nga po kay Congressman Luis Tro na 2 event siya na magkasabay. Sayang yung opportunity na maaari kong makausap yung FBI Director sapagkat it's very rare that an FBI Director will talk to an NBI Director.
Yeah. Oh.
So, sinabi ko na baka naman pwede na mas mapaaga. Kung pwede lang at kung makikita naman ko doon sa liham ko, respectfully I'm requesting. Pero lininaw ko po kay Congressman Luis Tro na 2 event dyan at in order of priority, ang aking pong priority ang tumistigo po dito po sa impeachment court. At sabi ko naman, binabot ko po through Ma'am Courtney that probably we can arrange another day na magkausap po kami ni Director Kash Patel.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. At any rate, you're admitting that before you wrote Representative Luis Tro, hindi pa final yung confirmation mo dito kay Director.
Meron na pong arrangement. Pero alam po nila na ako'y magtitistigo. So kung malilipat po, that is the only time na ako po ay pupunta sa Bangkok.
No, I'm talking about may confirmation na kayo ni Director Kash Patel before you wrote Luis Tro, wala pa?
There was already an invitation and information channeled to their local representative, si Ma'am Courtney po.
Ma'am, sino yan, ma'am?
Siya po, si Courtney, siya po yung FBI representative dito.
At any rate, my question is, do you maintain that this is an official invitation from FBI?
Yes.
All right.
Katunayan, meron pong dumalo ngayon doon yung pong aming representative ng IOD.
And it's also a director or commissioner level.
Ano po, siya po ay division level po.
Are you at liberty to disclose the name? Or
Yes, po, Attorney Chris Hernandez.
Nandun siya sa Bangkok ngayon?